So maybe today is the last. Thank you so much. You can do it more.
This is my sadness for the last.
Okay. So let me have a review of our last, 8 days. Okay. So we say that all of us, we are common in one thing, and we want to live in love, have a flourishing love life. We want true love go to beyond the words, beyond our ego mind, and explore our true nature. So this is common between all of us. At the beginning, we talk about the see the reality according to the 5 body. We have 5 body, and we cannot ignore them. To create any success in any form, we need to bring all of our 5 body in a line and connected with each other. Our body, our emotion, our mind, our energetic body, and soul. These 5 body need to work together. And then we say that inside ourselves also we have another 2 polarity, feminine and masculine polarity, Shiva and Shakti. Also they need to come in harmony with each other. When we have this harmony, we reach to the power of truth. When your inner man and inner woman are truthful with each other, in peace with each other, you reach to the power of truth. We say that when your 5 body, you accept your 5 body and don't shame to talk about your physical needs. Don't shame about your mental needs, your emotional needs. Don't shame to talk about your energetic, your horniness. And at the same time, when you acknowledge your soul, your spirit, when you see yourself beyond beings that have only a physical body, you are powerful more than ever to manifest your desired life. Okay? So, to reach to that state of truthfulness, be aligned. We talk about, we did something unusual to express ourselves, to express our body, mind, emotion, energy. We talk about embracing our sexual energy, to hold it, to honor it, instead to waste it. And also we remember we talk about the laws of objectifying. We must be truthful. Yes, we are objectifying others, but at the same time, this objectifying is not for the purpose of only get benefit for ourselves. We want to build something with somebody else. We objectify a man and woman for our physical body, to share our mind, emotion, energy, and spiritual growth. We must be very truthful to talk and to know that sometimes we allow others also to objectify us. We want to be attractive, and we must not feel shame or shy for that. And then eventually we talk about 3 sources of reliance: your mental, emotional, and energetic intuitive source. And we say that in order to have the most pure wisdom, and enthusiasm for life, we need to tap into our energetic self. If we go and rely on our emotional self and mental self, somehow we will be past oriented, because our emotion and information and knowing, they all belong to the past. We need to find the life that is inside you. The source, the essence of life exists in you, a greater self that's the same with the life. It just wants to dance and celebrate its existence, exists in you, and we need to get connected with that source. And the way of connecting to that source is to embracing and holding and playing with your sexual energy, because your sexual energy is the fragrance of this source, is the fragrance of Shakti. You cannot directly meet the Shakti, but through experiencing your fragrance, following your fragrance, you can reach to that source. You can be connected with that source. Or through playing with this fire, you eventually will become the fire. For example, about Ina, she was very connected with the energetic self. That's why she invests lots of reliance on her emotional self. That's why she starts to have a more emotional interaction, or take energy from her own emotion. Or some of you rely more on your logical mind to manage your life, to manage your love. But we want to learn how to rely on this source and the inner voice in order to govern our life. If you check with yourself, there are always an inner dialogue is happening between, we call it the inner talk. The ego mind has different aspects that shape your inner talk, and this inner talk often is not positive, because you are not coming from a positive background or past. We want to learn to don't listen to this inner talk, but listen to our inner voice that is life-oriented. This inner voice say, hey, my divine child, you are a guest, and life is my place. I am your host, and I want to provide the best for you. Worry nothing, just rest in my presence, in the stillness. Reach to an inner stillness with me, and then a smile, and then everything that you want, it will come to you. My dear friend, nobody will come. Please listen carefully. Nobody will come to bow down. Nobody come to bow down on K1. If you are, bow down and worship, give worshipness and respect and love, nobody will come. But only when your inner goddess is acknowledged by you, and the inner goddess is alive, is happy inside you, is truthful and aligned, then someone or people will come to bow down in the inner goddess that gets acknowledged and active in you. Your inner goddess is the source of your charisma. Your inner goddess is the source of trust. Create a trust without doubts. Your inner goddess is your inner voice. Do you remember 3 days ago we talked about you are looking to reach to the 3 purpose, right? How to trust or give without expectation unconditionally, how to listen to your inner voice, and how to have charisma. For that purpose, we need to activate our inner goddess. When this inner goddess is alive, you don't need to do anything. You just rest, and whatever that is the biggest desire of this inner goddess is to give you all that it has. So you just need to reach to tap embrace and hold that inner goddess. My dear friend, if you feel that you have problem to hold your sexual energy, your organs, and transform these organs to something internally and divine, this means still your inner goddess is not active, embrace, worship by you. One of the signs that you can check that your inner goddess is easily embraced and active is that you are done with the needs of orgasm. The acknowledging this inner goddess this means live in an erotic state, connected with inner voice, be able to trust and give unconditionally, and be able to hear the inner voice. The three things that we are looking for.
The third one?
The third one is, one of them is inner voice, hearing the inner voice, have the charisma, have a charisma, and
Be able to trust and give unconditionally,
yes,
live in an erotic state.
just click
Four
on.
things.
Yeah, so
Trust, give without expectation, inner voice, and charisma.
I mean, trust and giving unconditional are one thing, because when you trust, you are open to give unconditionally. You hear the inner voice and you have the charisma. Just can you give me the charger? The charger for
Which
this
charger?
one? For C. Be careful for the T.
That's okay.
So, you know, through the works that we did, through the, you heard that they say that your eyes always say the truth. I believe in the same way, the yoni and lingam also always they say that your truth eventually. How you are truly feeling and thinking about men, about women, about intimacy, how much you have resistance, how much you have emotional confusion. All of them will be exposed eventually through the intimate contact that you make with your loved partner. You are always, as I mentioned in the book, you are always transferring your truth, your inner truth to others. But when you go to the intimacy, you boost the amount of this transferring. I forget to tell you in the last days, this matter of fact, that when many of the people, they offer you, hey, do this practice, is good for releasing emotional blockages, right? And many of them just they lead you to express your emotion, but doesn't mean that it replaces them with a new emotion, or they can purify, but doesn't mean that they can beautify or replace it with something better. You can express your anger, but this doesn't mean that you are getting released from the anger or potential to be angry. And now, look at this fact that if you look at yourself, one of your strongest emotion is horniness. Now I want to lead your imagination to this fact, that imagine that a man has different type of emotional blockages, have grief, has sadness, has depression, has tendency to be angry, has fear, distrust, all the emotion, right? And at the same time, imagine that this man has mastery on his own sexual energy, horniness. Your sexual energy is one of the strongest desire, form of feeling, energy, and emotion in you, and even mental tendency. You have sexual fantasy, you have emotion for sex, you have energy for sex. And imagine this man is able to easily master the strongest emotion, strongest energy, strongest fantasy. So do you think that this man really needs go to heal his emotional blockages? Of course it's good to, if this man can heal them, but you know what happens? Those emotional blockages cannot move and distract this man from his power of truth, because this man has control beyond those emotional blockages. Did you get me? This man, imagine one man can be under effect of sadness, grief, disappointment, distrust. Okay. But at the same time, this man is able to master his sexual energy, his horniness. When this man is powerful to control the strongest desire, sexual energy, then those emotional blockages cannot manipulate him, because he reached to beyond any manipulation. I don't know, did I transfer to you this metaphor?
Yes.
So he is able to control the sexual energy,
Yes.
and that's why he's able to live
Be
above.
be not affected by those small emotions. If we categorize emotions, one of the strongest emotion that also is related to our cycle, to our hormones, to our emotion, to our energy, is the horniness. So the man that learn mastery of the strongest emotion, this man will not be manipulated or affected with other emotions, although they are recorded in that person as emotional blockages. What I am trying to tell you, if you learn to play with your sexual energy without reaching to the orgasm, you will be master of your hormones, your psycho, your emotion, your energy. You practice it. And you know what will happen? Then others' emotion, old stuff, others' emotion will not affect you. They will not manipulate you, because you are the master of body, mind, soul, emotion, energy, and your cycle. Do you understand?
Yes.
That's why this practice that I suggest you about daily self-practice help you to, during the day, you go to the gym and you empower your muscle, then a small activity cannot make you tired. That's why I emphasize on this practice.